helps if you play the intro.
You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia. In no other better freaking place in the world than Deltona, Florida. Here you are, lunch, no other than a dynamic duo, Laz and Jack.
And greetings, everybody. How y'all doing today? This is Laz.
This is Jack. Welcome to Lunch with Laz and Jack with
Casey
Casey's intro.
Cupcakes.
There, yeah, he was a little slow.
We'll get it one of these days.
Yeah. Oh man. So today we've got Led Zeppelin studio with us, as well as in game we have
Casey
Torque,
Cupcakes.
Dieter von Pasker, Casey, and myself and Laz.
Yes, welcome
hanging
Torque
out,
and Dieter. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to everybody
Yes,
who's
and they are
out there
both
listening
in
to
their,
us today.
Torque is definitely in our Twitch channels, as well as Dreadfully Despised. I love that guy.
DD, gotta
I think
love
it's the
him.
bald head. I think it's the bald head. And,
Oh, you think?
yeah.
Bald head's easy. A beautiful quaff is hard to come by.
A beautiful mane is hard to maintain.
Yeah.
So what's going on
Yeah,
today,
yeah.
guys? We got a couple topics for the good folks out there. Some good news. We got a really killer audio clip from an interview that was done prior to release 26, as I gather it. A lot of good information there, and a lot more good information coming out day by day. So where do we get
Yeah, and
started?
that's
Yeah, go
well,
ahead.
let's go ahead and talk about that interview with WTF Dragon.
I've got that on
and-
the soundboard for us to
I've
go
got it.
ahead.
I still have it done. Did you want to play the whole 3 minutes, or did you want to skip to a certain time period?
I was going to actually play the whole 3 minutes so that people
Okay.
got the context of where the answer comes from and how they get there. They start out talking about
Okay, so
the expirations of pledge rewards and pledges. And we go on
Okay.
into the retail sale of the game once we go final wipe. And the conversation goes on to go, well, why we're ending these rewards.
I did want to.
Go ahead.
I did want to say that this interview was done by WTF Dragon over on Ultima Codex. It came out yesterday, so
Yes.
the interview was probably within the last few days.
It was before
just because they
26.
do-
I listened to the early part. I listened up until I heard that, and I had to stop at that point anyway. But yes, it was done before the actual release. You hear them talking about that they were talking about that before release, and that this wasn't going to be released till after 26 was live anyway. So, but let's go ahead and roll this because it's really interesting. Let me pull up the soundboard again, and this may narf me, so bear with me just a second. Actually, I'll just switch back.
I'm ready to hit play whenever you're ready. So
I'm going to send it through the soundboard, and everybody's going to hear it. Should come through your side, too, no? Or no, your viewers won't hear that. Okay, I got you. I forgot about that. Okay, and I'm hitting play.
Concerned.
Kind of. What it really means is it is an expiration of the current crowdfunding model, and all of the awards associated with it. And so at some point, there was always going to be a point where we said, those of you who back the product before we are complete,
User joined your channel.
what you have bought is exclusive and special to you. And will never be seen again, and it is by definition rare. So that was always going to happen. So we're doing that now in association with the persistence because we believe that that's the right time to do it. We still will have things like the add-on store. So people will still be able to purchase items a la carte to add to their experience. And we will have the ability to buy the game itself. So what is currently called the Adventurer Pledge, that is the game plus some exclusive rewards, that is going away, but for that, it'll be replaced by $45 gets you access to the game.
Right. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to be then just selling essentially retail copies of the game. So
Yeah, well, also, and here's the way to think about it, though, too, is one of the reasons we want to stop wiping is because people can't, or there's no point in investing very heavily in your own real estate, right? If you,
Right.
whatever you build or achieve is going to go away. And so we want to stop wiping because we think that will let people continue to invest in the economy of the real world, the interaction socially between the role playing, the deeper role playing of the game will be unlocked to open and strengthen. But that also, part of that also means that by shutting down all the pledges that had lots associated with them, that's also getting rid of the tax-free lots that are associated with those pre-last wipe pledges. What that does is that gives now those rare, those lots have real economic value.
Right.
That brings into existence the true player-to-player economy of things that have real economic value to each other. And the other lots that we now begin to add on in the add-on store and other ways that people get property is either buying it in the game itself proper, or in other ways that will generally be non-tax-free lots. And so it gives the specialness to the early backers to say, look, I really do have something that I came in early, I got something of true value, and the new players that have prior to this final wipe weren't with us on this journey don't get that value. And if they want it, they have to buy it from me personally, because I get here early, I got it, you want it, you pay me for it.
Yeah.
Being the player.
Pay me.
all right then.
And there is that clip. I hope it finished up on
Now,
Jack's size.
that is a great clip on. Well, you played it over TeamSpeak, so I didn't have to hit play anything.
Well, that's what I
That is a
figured. I
great
was going to
clip
send it through
just-
there, and you would
just
get it on
for-
your TeamSpeak. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so it did work.
It worked.
That's a great clip for a variety of reasons, especially the fact that you know what, as far as the gray market goes, that is Richard Garriott sitting there endorsing the gray market, saying, "Hey, you know what? I've got a rent-free deed. I bought in early to the game.
And I
Or
want
I
to
have
sell
a
that
rare
rent-free
associated
deed.
with my account, and if you want it, you can buy it. You have to pay me." That right there says, you know what? The gray market is going to make or break the game.
Real value there.
Didn't
And
specify.
it's
Real
true
value.
value. And they go
he,
in.
He
No,
said
real
real
value,
money.
yeah.
He was talking real life cash.
Yes, we're talking real money there. And I'd like to welcome
For
Torb to the
those
stream
that were
today.
on the journey. Yes.
That's right.
This is something we heard
Yeah.
back in October.
And you know what that means? Proud marketplace.
Shroud Marketplace, man.
Sure, I
I'll
want to
tell you
sell
what,
my stuff though.
it's a great idea.
It's okay.
Lots, it's,
And
do I want
I believe there's going to be a really big need for a place like Shroud Marketplace. Now, we know that before Blake Blackstone departed,
You know what I mean?
Yep.
he had that set
I mean, we have lots of things there. I mean, the fact that they're going to start expiring pledges. Remember, the first half of expirations for pledges and is going to happen in the spring, and in the second half during the summer. So before final wipe, there will be no more pledges with rent-free deeds, and all those rares will be going bye-bye. So if you are sitting on the fence waiting and debating whether or not you should invest in the game or not, you know what? You don't have much longer to decide.
Now, I'll tell you what, the Citizen Pledge at this point in the game is probably the best value at $550.
That's the one, yep.
It comes with a tax-free vendor. It comes with a tax-free village deed. And if, like Jack said, you're on the fence, that is the pledge to shoot for if you're going to take the plunge now. by all means, you get the best value, best bang for the buck. You're guaranteed a lot. You got a place to sell your stuff, and you're set for eternity.
Yep, Citizens is the best. I had my lead worker buy one, and I told him I would buy it if he doesn't like the game. Try it out. He still hasn't logged on yet, though.
And welcome, Dina Von Parker, to TeamSpeak. Welcome to the studio with us.
That'd be Von Pasker.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Eater.
It looked like Parker up there
I saw
on the screen.
I saw it. Yeah.
He knows who I'm talking to. I
Von
gave him
Pasker,
the information how to get here.
So you told him the new method of joining us in TeamSpeak was to go to nbnn.info, and then in the middle of that page near the bottom is a screen that says join us. It no longer says join us in TeamSpeak. It now says, what does it say exactly? Because I don't know that.
You know, it's a good question.
It says put in join Laz and Jack in TeamSpeak, type your in-game name, and then if you have TeamSpeak already installed, then you just have to type in your name, and then it automatically comes to our channel after you
brings you
click on
right on
the
in.
TeamSpeak button. I
No
know,
more
I love that
muss,
thing.
no more fuss. Brings people directly into our channel. You can come speak to us, and chat what we're talking about. Tell us your opinions.
Yep.
Well, of course, once they get
Well,
in
I got to figure out
TeamSpeak-
how to talk to him.
Once they
Yep,
get
I
in
think we heard
TeamSpeak-
him.
We heard him. He's still trying to figure out the buttons.
Once you get in TeamSpeak, like I said, you will notice
All right.
that Laz cuts out all the time.
I made it.
Yes. Welcome, Dieter. How are you doing today?
He's figuring it out.
He's got to find the right binding for whatever he's doing.
So I take
meanwhile-
a second and say hello.
Hello, Torque.
Hey,
how
Torque,
you doing
how are you
today?
doing? I didn't see you sneak in.
I did. I said hello to him earlier, but we were rambling
okay.
so fast.
Yes, in game, I saw it. Thank you very much, and have a good show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for
I
stopping in.
view you on I watch you on Twitch
User
and
in your channel timed
listen
User entered
here
your channel.
in TeamSpeak.
Oh, well, thank you for watching. Of course, we enjoy having you here.
I'm doing good. How are you?
There he is.
There's Dieter. How are you doing, Dieter? Since you already answered that. So, what is your impression of Richard's statement about the selling game-related items?
Uh-oh, lost it again.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we had him for a second.
Push the button.
He'll figure it out.
Hey, this sounded like you when you first started TeamSpeak.
Hello?
Led Zepp.
Hello.
Yes.
Go ahead, Dieter.
I don't think he's got the hang of it quite yet.
Yeah, he did type in there that his mic's not working properly.
That's fine.
Which means that you need to go into the settings and options and play around with the capture.
I think it's great.
and-
There's going to be a good market for it. I mean, like before.
Yes, I mean, I think that's one where it's like the market for rares right now is very, very young, and as we end up
Absolutely, way
with
young.
closer to going live, then we're going to end up seeing a lot more transactions, and this is where it really
Yeah, there
does
must-
become fun.
There must be a delay on my end.
How much of a delay are you getting inside of TeamSpeak? There's a delay inside of Twitch. So you might want to mute Twitch and just listen to us in TeamSpeak.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He did it the other way around. He muted here,
Yeah.
but that still puts him 30 seconds behind. He's got to mute the Twitch stream and just listen to us in
Oh,
here.
he just muted himself now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving
Yeah.
on. He'll figure it out. But
He'll
he knows
figure it
where to
out
find
eventually.
us.
Yeah.
Sure.
But gray market, I really do think will make or break the game, just because if you look at what happened with Star Citizen, where the way they raised $100 million was by putting things on their add-on store, offering ships, and then, you know what, you've got a week to purchase it. If you don't do it, boom, it's gone. And then that creates that secondary market, which creates more interest in the game and creates more impulse buys. Now, the negative view of that is going to be it's a cash grab. You know what? Unfortunately, it has to be a cash grab because they don't have a publishing house saying, you know what, here's your budget of $30 million to make this game. Go make it.
Yeah, right.
Instead,
Right.
they have to raise every single dollar.
So that's
And
good.
so it's like, yeah, that cash grab is, you know what, that's where it pays for salaries, it pays for the game servers, it pays for office space, it pays for everything. So it's not really a traditional cash grab of, hey, you know what, we're paying their business expense and we're trying to sway the direction of the game a little bit, and hopefully we're all hoping that we get the game that we hope it can be. So we're just having fun with that.
Now, I just want to go back and touch on that interview with WTF Dragon. There's a lot of other good stuff in there. If anybody gets a chance to listen to the whole interview, it's really worthwhile. It's just about an hour. And they also address, geez, I just lost my train of thought on that one.
Senior moment there.
Yeah, it was.
I have no idea where he was going. Uh-oh.
Something
Looks
about
like
the
Dieter
interview.
even
or-
crashed out of game.
Yeah, he did. Anyway, it'll come back to me. Check out the interview. There's a lot of great stuff in there.
Hell, I forgot what you said myself.
He was talking about the WTF Dragon interview and that it's an hour long and there's lots of great stuff in there, including blank. I have not listened to the entire interview, so I don't know exactly where Laz is going with that, or else I'd be able to remind him.
That should have done it.
Yeah.
That
No.
should have helped him out, but it didn't. And I do need to say that welcome to Blue Kool-Aid to the stream, and
Blue
and
Kool-Aid.
Aaron Dane. Yeah, Blue Kool-Aid. That's a new person. So
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
yes, well, Jim Joe's was a great convincer of people to do weird things. Okay, so
Hey, it's only Kool-Aid, right?
while Laz is trying to think about that WTF Dragon interview, we do have something that came out today, and unless you're paying attention to the official forums, you may have missed the fact that Chris has actually taken actual stance on what we were talking about yesterday with some of those exploits.
Yes,
And
now
welcome
we've
back,
got a
Dieter.
public statement out there by Chris, and we'll put that up on screen for you folks.
Yeah, I'm linking it into all the Twitch channels right now, so even though they'll see the link before they see anything else. But essentially, Chris says, before I lose your attention, we are now logging events on the server for several types of cheating. Starting in a few days, we will probably start warning anyone caught speed hacking. We pretty much have only been acting on these when someone reported them, but it looked like there were people still speed hacking and just playing in single player mode to level up faster. As we get closer to final wipe, we are going to start taking a few steps to try and move closer to zero hack level. We had a quest exploit on the Release 26 launch weekend that snuck through, although he said sneak
through yeah.
QA dealing with QA dealing with a quest book that could be duplicated legally through a printing press and then turned in multiple times. We made sure not only fixed that quest, but also made sure and fixed that type of exploit from coming up in the future. And it was also a good chance to verify that we could shut that quest off through the server without having to patch. We also We also will start trying to keep a closer eye on metrics and set automated notification events, as that immediately showed up on our rewards per player per hour per scene metrics. Also, while it may not be completely obvious in all situations or scenes, the performance work last week paid off with pretty good returns. Average frame rates in the game as a whole are up at least 5 frames per second. Also, for the first time, our lowest FPS scene, our doors, is above 20 frames per second on average, at around 22 frames per second average for all visitors, up from 15 in release 25s.
Which is good news. Very good news.
Yeah, and their target is at least 30 frames per second for release 27 and Ardoris, which is the worst performing scene that they have. Then there's some information about Linux clients, but the important thing is that they are logging everything. There's an official statement. They're going to start looking at speed hacks as well as quest exploits. They do know that they can actually do a server-side patch and disable a quest. Hopefully they'll be able to remove that 60-minute, hour-long that people would be able to exploit that, which is what we were talking about yesterday on air. And
now,
so, Laz, you want to go?
Chime in.
Yeah.
Now, with that as well, yes, they were actually able to prove that they can cut off the quest without a patch. And as well, we learned that they're now able to force an update so that people can't not patch and continue to exploit it. So both good items on their fronts for going forward here to move towards that zero hack policy level. And it's really great to see them taking quick, firm, swift action on it and, addressing it and publicly. Again, we knew there were several. I didn't know about this one, which is funny. A legal way to. I mean, who thinks about that? You get a quest book. The idea is to go turn the book in. Who thinks to go duplicate the book and try and do it multiple times? I know I wouldn't have.
Well, the way I understand, I knew that you could actually run the quest multiple times, but I didn't know that you could just go to a printing press and reprint out the book. So.
What? You can do
so
that?
There's actually 2 ways to actually exploit
I didn't hear
that
that one.
Okay, yeah. See, again, I knew there were several different things going on, and we chased a couple of them just to see, what we could find out about them. And didn't even know. I mean, but again, who thinks about that? I guess you get a quest thing like that, and you go, ooh. Maybe I want to save this as a item I collected, and if I turn it in, it's going to disappear. So let me make a copy. I could maybe think about that line, but good catch nonetheless. And the metrics are there to be able to say, okay, we can see this. We saw where this happened, et cetera, et cetera.
They really did just release a new patch, so the most current version of the game is 376.
376 now being released.
Yes. Yes. So
do we have
soon we should have
patch
patch notes on that as well.
I think there's people out there dedicated to finding those exploits and passing all that information around.
Absolutely.
Well, they're supposed to be passing it to the devs, and it's one where it's test, duplicate once or twice,
verify,
and verify that it can be done, and then submit the bug.
Yeah, they're
It's
really
not continue
innovative.
to exploit until the patch is fixed. Until it's fixed. Because this is something that we talked about yesterday, is that it takes them.
Now, Lord British was with us talking
hours,
about this yesterday.
Yeah. It takes about 4 hours for them to build the actual release build. But you also have to think of the time it takes for the bug report to come in, and it needs to be funneled to the correct person. The correct person then has to fix the code. It has to be submitted through. It has to be QA tested, and then a build has to be done. So you're taking what may be a 15-minute fix for a problem, but the actual process ends up taking 10, 12 hours or longer, because what happens if one of that build fails, then it's like that just draws that entire process out even longer.
Right, that makes sense.
So
Like if they're trying to fix an exploit, then, you know, when they're tearing the exploit down, they could be tearing down other things that they've built that actually function
yeah,
properly.
Correct.
so that's one where it's like they have to build it, put it on their internal dev server, test it, make sure it didn't break anything else, and then release it. And so it's like all of that takes time, but we end up with a community where it's like you end up with, hey, here's this exploit, let's go make 5 million gold in an hour, or hey, let's go ahead and get all the way up to level 90 to 100 in a few hours. And then it's like, next thing you know, lots of people have lots of GMs 2-3 days after the game is released, or after the wipe. And it's
Which
like,
is, yeah.
if you think about the purpose for this early access right now and that wipe, it is to, how are skills balanced? How is progression balanced? How is all of these things being developed? And it's like, how long should it take a person to get to GM skills off of normal gameplay? They can no longer get any of those metrics anymore because of people abusing an exploit. And so it actually hurts the development cycle.
Now again, we
Well,
know
they-
that we
they-
know they can see, like we were talking last night or yesterday. You know,
Yeah.
pretty much down to the gold piece. They know exactly where everything is going. They know where it's coming from. They know the numbers aren't adjusted right. And some people would argue that the idea behind all this testing is, of course, to find those bugs and do what they did. Is exploit the living the hell out of them to see how quick they could be patched. I don't know if that's the most
But
reasonable.
if we want to bring up individuals' past behavior, that is the same reason that one of the most renowned griefers in the game was actually banned. He was using an exploit, and he continued to do it even after being told stop.
Well, that's a different story.
But
when
I mean,
you've
the
been
fact that
told and you've been
it-
warned,
it's the same premise, though.
I
because
understand that.
It's like he was continued to do an exploit when it's like the devs were already notified about it.
Some people can resist anything but temptation.
Now, Casey made a comment here. It makes him think of, hey, in Ultima, we could place stuff everywhere. Now, what do you mean by place stuff everywhere? Are you talking about just dropping stuff?
He's talking about
Anything.
like dropping a gold piece.
Yeah,
Everything,
well,
yeah.
I understand that's planned for the future.
Yes, that is planned.
Not everything, though. He did say that. Probably for good reason, I assume.
Well, I mean, you can create lots and lots of server lag by placing individual gold pieces down.
I know,
and
yeah.
that just-
I know we used to have people who would place tailored shirts just all over the town as they sat there and tailored all day and just dumped them on the street.
Yeah, I used to
Flag
spam
City.
the bank with gold.
Yeah.
Well, then there's Winfield when he gave that story at the convention about putting all the fish on the table. I mean,
Oh, well, the fish
But
story is legendary.
He was doing it. Yeah, the fish story is actually really funny because it's like we're gonna sit there and sell fish cakes or fish at this event, and then from there, like half the PvP group defended him, and the other half were trying to kill him. I think that's just humorous.
Yeah, that's just classic. Yeah.
Yeah, and Casey dropped from us in game.
I was going to say, I was looking at Casey's wings just a second ago, and I was going to ask him. They look like they might be a light source. They seem to be
They,
glowing.
mi- they might
Is
be.
that-
Disconnected.
Oops. I didn't mean to do that.
Connected. Connected.
Well, welcome back, Laz.
Yeah, didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, you closed the wrong window, didn't you?
I was going someplace else. I was actually going to move and talking about light sources. I don't know why this does
Oh,
that.
well, I have no idea what you're talking about.
The battle banner.
Oh,
If
it's
you'll
probably
notice, when
a
I flip
graphic
it,
glitch.
it'll light
Yeah.
up now compared to just a moment ago.
I'm not sure
when it
that
was
they
not
are
lit.
a light source or not. I know they are dyeable though. I was thinking about dyeing them blind.
Oh, so the wings and is the diaper dyeable also?
Yes.
Are you gonna dye it brown?
Black with
Once I
brown
find the right
accents.
shade.
And
Streaks.
got Kendrick Darrow out there waving hello. Hi, Kendrick.
Tie dye there.
Thanks for passing by.
Hey,
saying
hey,
hello.
Laz.
Yes.
Hey, have you guys touched on third-party programs at all that people were using, like with Ultima Online? Has there been any attention given to that?
You know, I haven't heard of any third-party programs like Ultima Online.
Well, it
they
depends. Are you
had.
meaning for like macro, or are you
Yeah,
meaning
he's
like
talking like UO Assist and
quote
Auto
unquote
Map
hacking?
and all those other handy tools that were tools. I haven't heard of anything like that out there. Of
Yeah, nothing's
course,
come out yet
there's
Yeah.
that I know of. I haven't looked, but
Well, I
yeah.
know the unassisted macro was a huge issue for a while. So I just wondered, I know there's going to be opportunity to do that probably in this game too. Wouldn't you think?
Every game
Was
there's
that addressed?
opportunity to do that.
There's opportunity to do that in any game. They have stated that basically it's kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, somebody could be sitting there going over and over and over doing something and just not replying to you. So while they will try to dissuade the opportunities to do so, some policing of it is kind of double-sided. You know?
well, I believe they do have the technology to do a memory dump and see what you're running. So
Yeah, I was just curious. I know it was an issue. I just wondered if anybody had been saying anything about it.
Yeah, now for
I think it
ages,
did come
there
up
have
in
been
the convention,
automation
I think, a
programs
little bit.
that do
Forgot
keystroke
what the answer
loggers,
was.
mouse moves, this, that. I mean, there's hundreds of programs out there to do that. And there's another argument out there that Portalarium teams up with Razer, and Razer gives you a keyboard and mouse that has programmable macro buttons. So why did you give me and team up with a partner like that? It gives me the ability to do this when I'm not allowed to do it.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who argue that point as well. One of my favorite tools out there, back for Ultima Online. Good morning, Luca. Thanks for joining us today. Was UO Curse.
Ghost House.
Now, UO Curse was my all-time favorite little app and program.
Damn, you're cutting out.
And what UO
Yeah.
Curse used to allow you to do was you would put in your text, you'd put in a speech macro, whatever it was that you wanted one button to do, and it would automate and do that for you. So you could sit there like we're sitting here, and instead of me having to, like if I want to send this message like this and go back, I got to go hit a half a dozen keys to get that, when all I would have to do in UO Curse is push a button to get that text every time I wanted it.
Yeah, at the moment, presently there's quite a few programs.
Yeah,
that
I would like automatic
sophisticated
greetings
macros.
that I can push a button and say, "Hi, Jack. Hi, hi, Casey," and I want to be able to just have that, so I don't have to type it every single time. I'd love to see something like that. Of course, I'd like to see sodamap.com integrated as a map that we could use in the in the game. That would be something really nice. Use that as an overlay window that they can pull up, and as you're running around, it'll track where you are. I would love to see that functionality as well.
I don't want you to know where I'm at.
I don't care where you're at. I just want to know where I'm at.
Where am I? Where am I?
Where lead
Slash
is where not
location
to be.
lab.
I
That's
want to know
right.
where he is.
Well, it's really easy to find Laz. You just go to Owl's Head.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
he's always sitting down.
you want to know where Laz is. Laz is sitting his ass down in Owl's Head.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is,
if you're at your house and you need to get to Owl's Head really quick, you can rely on Laz.
is people
Well, sometimes that'll backfire.
blindly zone to me
Yeah.
here because
Very,
they
very
know I
rarely,
sit
though.
here so often.
Plus, sometimes he's there and he'll like look at you, and you gotta stop what you're doing.
Yeah. Now I love it when I'm out and have decided to go do a little adventuring, and somebody blind zones to me, and they're like, "Damn, I took a chance. I thought you'd be an Owl's Head."
I've done that. I've absolutely done
Yep.
that.
Yeah, a lot of people have done it, but it's good to know. I mean, people rely on me to be here, and this is where I like to live. This is where I like to hang out.
And with the
Is,
zone change, you can actually tell where you're about to end up before you finally go through with it. I'm liking that. But of course,
Well-
the zone's going to go away.
in yesterday's stand-up corner, and I see a new alert out here. And would that happen to be a new stand-up?
Yeah.
Fast travel was mentioned, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
we are now awaiting fast travel. I'm looking at yesterday's stand-up here real quick. Who was working on that?
Special items. Or
Starlong was working on build direction, fast travel planning. So we know it's going to be replaced. We've known this for ages and ages and ages. Not new news at all. The newest news is it's going to, sort of resemble a zone recall type scenario, but not really. The way Star puts it, you can read it a dozen different ways. And that's what we love about Star. You just never know until he hits you with it. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
sounds-
we got to start a cupcake drive. We got to start a recipe drive. We could do that right here. We can have people start submitting cupcake recipes, and we'll pick a winner and then submit it on to see if we can get a cupcake recipe in the game for Casey. What do you think, guys?
I think he just needs to give cupcakes to the right guy in the office.
Yeah, I know. He just needs to put
Damn it, Casey.
Grandma
I-
Casey's cupcake recipe and drop it on somebody's desk as he's passing by one day. Might be a nice hint.
So I have to leave.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
thanks for joining
Good
us,
day.
Torque.
And the next hours or days, I have a few newbie questions for you. And I think these are not good to hear now, to listen now here in the stream.
Okay,
So we make it later or tomorrow or so.
sounds like a winner. We'll catch up with you later, Torque. You know where to find us. And thanks for joining us
Yeah,
again today.
okay. Have fun and see you
Okay.
soon.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
And in your chat, you actually had Luca Melahan saying, besides saying good morning,
With
she also
combat
wanted to mention
calls
combat
with the
calls
macros.
you
Yes,
can
I
hit
saw
while
that.
you are in battle. Yeah.
Now,
Uh,
Dieter actually hit it on the head here. That's my call. I think we're going to have moonstones. I think the moonstones are going to function, and this is my understanding. We had it this way.
Well, if
Is that
you remember
rune
the
stones? You gotta fix your mic,
It-
Les.
yeah,
my mic sounds great over
Uh,
here. It's TeamSpeak. I'm
not
telling
over
you.
here.
No.
Hey,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
listen. You
yeah.
listen to the audio playbacks every day. You tell me whether I'm clipping on the audio playbacks or not. Yeah.
You're clipping in TeamSpeak.
It's
We
just
all like
TeamSpeak.
try to listen to you on the stream and then talk to here. This is gonna be more amateur
Very
sounding than
one-sided.
it is right now.
Anyway,
Yeah, talk
now,
about
yeah,
chaos
Luca
line.
goes moonstones. Yeah, I think
I'm wondering
moonstones is
about
going to
the
be it.
cost. The cost of them. I wonder how expensive it's going to be to.
They're going to
fast
whack
travel.
you for it.
I think so.
Well, fast travel had better be extremely expensive. I mean, because, I mean, if what's the point of the control points if I can fast travel around the world?
That's
Well,
why I
again,
think it
and-
will
we
be.
have that with the control points now. You're a level 5 and you can run right through them. What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, but it's like if they would enable those as PvP zones,
What's the
force
cost?
everybody to go through it.
What's the cost of
1,500.
1,500
pay?
to travel through, yeah.
Oh, okay. So
And that's not all
probably
of them that'll allow that. But it's like if you enable a guild or an alliance to actually take control of those, and then from there set the rates or disable that skipping of it, then you end up with a reason for guilds and alliances to actually control a region. And it's like that's where it really does become regional based economies, and that's where you also end up with trade alliances actually moving forward. It's like, hey, this guild has this resource on lockdown, how do we get to it, and how do we get access to it? It's like maybe that's go to war with them, and so you actually change the server dynamics, and you really do engage more people that way. Even though there are the people that say it's like no, PvP is bad. It's like it's like PvP is going to be something that you listen to the vocal PvP people on the server. They're looking for meaningful PvP. It's like this gives PvP meaning.
Luca goes
And
authorized ganking.
Yes, very authorized ganking. But you end up with a reason to actually be a member of
There's
a
a
guild,
reason to
member
be
of a
in
community.
that zone to begin with.
That's also one reason for some people not to play this game. Is the other side.
Well, that's the beauty
Yeah,
of the
some
game.
people-
Is,
That's where
don't
there's
like that.
multiple game modes.
right. There's the offline,
I
there's
mean,
the
but-
single player, there's the friends only. That's the beauty of Shrouded Avatars.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have
but
to
I,
do this.
I would say that the control points, as well as the shard falls, have to be in multiplayer online and force everybody to go in there. And so that way, it's like because the shard falls are supposed to have specific resources that you can't get anywhere else. And so the only way to get that is, you know what, you're going into a PvP zone, you have the possibility to die. And
But when there's 30 people in there guarding it, and then you're on your own, what are you going to do?
Gotta bring friends.
Well, the idea
maybe
is
you're going to learn the
that
subterfuge
for a
tree
fee,
and
you would be
yeah.
allowed to hang out and partake. That's how the guild or that band of people would make their money as well. There would be other mercenary types who would say, hey, pay us $5,000, we'll come out, 5,000 gold, and we'll protect you while you go mining out there from any of the other people who are trying to, persuade you to pay them. There's many scenarios for it, by all means. And you gotta love each and every one of them.
Sounds like a mafia or something.
You call it whatever you want to call it.
yeah, and
I
don't
don't know
forget we
nothing.
do have the dev hangout this
Coming Friday, that's
at
right.
3 this coming Friday, so tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And more than likely, one of the things that they do talk about, because Kendra was asking about this, is are they going to talk about fast travel? More than likely, yes, they will.
Now, I have
If you want to get your
that
have what?
page actually up here. I was going to touch on that, but we're quickly running out of time as well. But we can do this real quick if you wanted and just answer that question maybe. Questions
well, there's
that
currently 72 replies.
I don't know if we've got time to really delve into these, but they're going to delve into them tomorrow, of course.
Well, remember last time we picked out most of the questions that they were going to ask about, and pretty much gave some of those similar answers.
Well, it was funny. Last
but I-
time we were like, I don't think they're going to ask that question. I don't think they're going to answer that. And they went out of their way to answer
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But we also I just did a quick Control F, so find on that page. I did not see anything for fast or for travel. So right now
Nobody
there's
asking
no
about
questions
that.
about fast travel in those comments. So if you want to ask about fast travel, since Kendrick was one of the last ones to ask a question, um, go ahead and ask a question about fast travel.
Yes, you
Although
still got time as well.
He does kind of evade it with the will the zone command be disabled when the transportation item is in game. So he does kind of dodge around fast travel, and he could also say what is fast travel going to look like in its current iteration, things like that.
Well, we're going to find out, but back onto the moonstones real quick. I believe that's what the idea may be. I had a shard back in the day. It was a UO shard, and we had moonstones incorporated. And what the moonstones allowed you to do was open the moon gates to travel to a particular destination. So that you would go to the moon gate that we see down the street over here, and you would be able to force the moon gate to the particular destination you wanted to go to. So if the moon gate was currently open to, say, Solace Bridge, and you wanted to go to Blood River, you would use a moonstone, and you would be able to then step into Blood River instead of the intended destination that it was already open to. I would like to see something like that myself, but again, it's all speculative until they give us more details. And I think we're going to be seeing it soon. I think they want to get away from the zone command and take that out of the players thinking.
They did say that is a dev command, and they never intended for that to be there once it goes live, and that's why they started implementing those changes. Like, hey, you can only use it once every hour or 15 minutes, whatever it is.
Right, right.
And then after that, it's like they were trying to get people to disuse it. So they're trying to not have people use it. I still think that there needs to be a way to choose instances. If there's more than one instance of the scene, toggle between different instances. So that way we can actually not be stuck in a different instance from an event of some sort.
Now they're working on that as
through.
well. We know that. That's something that's actually coming in the next couple of releases, I believe. Was the sorting process of how it picks and matches everybody coming into a scene.
That's the sorting process, but you still need to be able to manually choose an instance.
I don't know about
that. If you remember, well, you weren't at Doc's Cotton Pickin' Party for the close of Release 25, where I was kicked out of the instance.
Oh, I've experienced it dozens of times.
And
What is
was
max?
stuck in a different instance for an hour with 10 other people. And so it's like in no way to get back into the instance that I was in beforehand.
What is max? 125 or something like that?
I believe it was 120.
It's lower than that. It's lower than that. We're not 120 people there.
But you should be able to zone to somebody in an instance at any time.
Well,
yeah, that wouldn't work either.
limitations, you know. So
Yeah, but meanwhile, if it's
Did
that
you go
overloaded,
to the first all
you know,
towns gathering?
that defeats the purpose. Why do you want to be in the scene that overloaded to begin with? But anyway, that's
maybe
another
there's an
whole
event
can of
going on.
worms. I mean, we could spend a day or two on that one.
yeah, don't put that can opener away.
Yeah, we'll save that one for another time.
Okay.
But yes,
Since you're running out of time.
I guess maybe I'll just have to pose that question myself. As well, tomorrow during the post-mortem, you can ask questions in IRC chat live as well. They will field questions from there. We tend to find that asking them beforehand gets a better chance of getting them noticed and asked, since chat can really become a runaway in there. And it gets a little crazy sometimes.
Let's see. We do not have a new stand-up corner for today. We did cover that yesterday because you wanted to. And yesterday we had covered a few of these questions. But I think that really does become more of a fun questions. I'm interested in whether or not they're going to do any add-on store expirations for items, or what they're planning on doing for additions to the add-on store.
Now, again,
They're gonna remove it
something we
completely,
haven't
right?
touched on recently, and we've been meaning to. I've been meaning to at least all week. And again, we don't have time today. Something maybe
Yeah.
we'll hit tomorrow. A lot of new stuff in the add-on store. New houses to look at. New.
I like the Cobalt 2-story with rooftop.
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of good
Oh,
stuff
it's the
out there for
stretch
us to
goals
look
that
at.
they're getting rid of. I'm sorry.
And Dieter, yeah, that's one of those things I've been saying for a long time. I think we're going to be surprised when we get to launch. I think mounts may be rideable by that point.
I don't think so.
You don't like your coconuts, Les?
I don't use them.
User in your channel timed out.
You don't use your nuts?
Well, we're not going to go there. Sure, we'll go there. No, I mean, the pain in the butt to switch them out just to go traveling. By the time I do that, I mean, I've already got, oh, look who's popping on, I guess, again today before we leave here. Lord British popping in to say hello again today. Always nice to see him.
Get your wings, isn't that it, Smith?
Why did you do the royal salute? Just wave.
Because I'm Lazarus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
See,
I paid
Lord-
for a
Lord British
royal
bowed for me.
salutation.
Hello, Lord
And
British.
Hello, Lord British.
User
I
entered
mean,
your channel.
we could easily just say hello, Richard, but that sort of breaks my immersion, man. You're breaking my immersion.
Breaks your immersion.
You're breaking my immersion, man. I'm telling you, you're killing me over here, you
Yeah.
guys.
Break my
Why did I
immersion,
give him
break
a
your
royal
fingers.
flourish?
Yeah. Stop breaking my immersion. Sucks to be you. Now, but we are running low on time. We've got 7 minutes remaining.
Yes, we
But
still have a
let's-
couple people to
any
thank, say
final
hello
thoughts
to.
before we start wrapping things up?
Of course, we do have the calendar. A couple things on the calendar today. Again, nothing major. Beginning of the week to the midweek is usually slow. And I just asked Richard if how things were today, and he says, "Indeed, I am off to follow the plot line. I will return to play later. Enjoy the broadcast wrap-up." Who is Richard? I'm sorry. See, that's why I do my royal salutation, and I keep it in character. I'm telling you, man, you guys are breaking my immersion. You're killing me.
Who is Richard?
What's
he
this
says.
immersion thing?
It's
I'm confused. What is immersion?
Yes. But meanwhile, of course, we got to mention our friend Ben over at Relics by Rild. If you want to get all your Shroud of the Avatar swag officially licensed, go over to see Relics by Rild and use the promo code NBNN when you check out and get 10% off all your Shroud of the Avatar swag. Ta-ta, Lord British. I don't know. is he-
Ta-ta for now.
Yes.
Hey guys, thanks for letting me hang out with you today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, Dieter,
Hey,
thanks
thanks for
for stopping
joining us.
in and talking with
Yeah,
us.
come by
That's
anytime.
what we're here for. Anytime you see us hanging out doing the show and you got something to say, please come join us. We invite the general public to come in and do that anytime during the show, or pop in anytime during the day. Jack and I are usually here hanging out. And if you don't answer, just type in a question to us and leave it. We will get back to you and get an answer to that question for you.
Eventually.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
good friends over at Soda Taming, Nick Knack, our latest patron here at NBNN, thanks to him. For all your crafting needs, check out sodacraft.com. For all your map needs and location item needs, if you've got to find a way around, check out sodamap.com by our good friend Jacob White out there. Thanking everybody who's listening, thanking everybody who's joining us. We missing anybody out there today, Jack?
Calendar time?
Coming up. Well, you want to read the
Let
calendar
Laz
for us
finish the
today,
thanks.
Zip?
Say again.
This is why. Do you want to read the calendar for us today?
Oh, no. Jack
I can
is
cover the
more
calendar in
professional.
less than a minute.
Yep.
Yeah, Jack's got that down pat. But meanwhile, you want to hit the
Not
calendar?
as well as Marguerite did, though.
No. We'll never have. We got to try and get her back to do the calendar. I used to love when she had the calendar. She's got that great voice.
You better get a speed reader if you don't get to it. I think you got 4 minutes.
Yeah, no problem. It's Thursday.
Well, Laz hasn't finished our thanks yet.
Who am I missing?
Well, did you do sodataming.com?
Yes, I thank Nick Nack, Soda Taming.
Okay.
Thanks, Soda Craft.
You did Soda Craft. You did.
Oh, yes. We didn't get our friends over at Shroud Marketplace. My bad. Don't forget our friends over at Shroud Marketplace. You want to sell some of that soda swag that you've got from in-game pledges. So you got items that you no longer need, no longer want, no longer desire. Go out to Shroud Marketplace. Sign up, get yourself an account, and offload that stuff. Make yourself a couple of bucks, buy yourself a new item. Put that money
Sure,
right
there's a
back
lot
into
of
the
bonnets,
economy.
A lot of bonnets for sale, Jack.
What?
A lot of
He says
bonnets
there are a
for
lot
sale.
of bonnets for sale.
I don't have any bonnets for sale yet. I think it's because I didn't purchase any bonnets from the add-on store.
Yeah, no. I don't think those are going to be a popular item, but then again, you just never know. But meanwhile,
you
you
never
want
know.
to do that
Depends on
calendar
rarity.
and get us out of here?
So, time for the calendar?
Yeah, we got about 2
calendar.
minutes left here.
Okay, so remember the calendar is going to be off of NBNN.info. It is actually provided to us by our friends over at Avatar Circle. It is just a Google Calendar that is synchronized by lots and lots of people that add their stuff to the calendar. All times are New Britannia time, which is Central Standard Time in the real world. And we would like to thank everybody for putting their events on the calendar in a timely basis. So today is Thursday, February 4th in the real world, and so
User
we'll go ahead and
disconnected
go
from your
over
channel.
those dates. Today at 4 p.m. on Avatars Radio, we have Golden Wing Goes Country because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. At 6 o'clock on Avatars Radio, Dr. DJ Selly goes faster and louder with some 70s and 80s guitar rock. If you are interested in doing some PvE, so player versus environment, you can join Kazan Phoenix Fire or Malakis with the Phoenix Republic PvE nights. If you are really interested in listening to some eclectic sounds, you can join DJ Stryker in his program Lost in the Spaces. Really eclectic flow of things. If you are interested in some PvP, tonight is the Gladiator Battles. Registration for that begins at 8 o'clock, just zone to Pestilence for that. And the battles begin promptly at 9. So if you are not registered, make sure and get registered between 8 and 8:50 and participate in those fights at 9 p.m. Then the last thing for tonight is going to be Apollox Evanhart's Temper Tantrum Tea Days, where he plays some loud, proud, and aggressive music. So we'll see how much of a temper tantrum he throws. Maybe he'll go all emo on us. I don't know.
Yeah, never know what Apollox is going to do out there. I hear he's got a pretty good show. I don't listen myself, but nice enough guy. I've ran into him in game a few times.
Yes.
He does a lot of parties out
that is
there.
the calendar for Thursday, February 4th. We do need to thank everybody for watching, listening, and following us. So thank you, Justin, for texting me while you were in the middle of a meeting to say that you were listening. You had one earbud in.
I love her.
And no one noticed.
I gotta love her. Thank you, Justin.
Yes. Thank you to everybody that joined us in the studio today. Dieter von Pasker, Blood Zep, Casey,
Torque from Germany.
Kendrick, Torque, and I'm missing a few people.
Hey, we got
Thank you,
Luca
thank you,
out
thank you,
there.
everybody.
You said Kendrick.
And Luca, yes.
We love you
And
guys out
Mike
there.
with
Again, we
420
do it for you.
Unique bot.
Gotta love it. When
Aaron Durr,
people are listening to you on the sneak, you know you have arrived.
And thanks for the
Yes.
information, you guys. You guys are excellent.
Thank you, Zep. Alrighty, folks, that's going to
Remember-
wrap it up for us here. You got something else there real quick, Jack?
I was going to say, remember, we can do it if it wasn't for you guys. So
That's
thank
right.
You, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much. Alrighty, folks. Oh, and thank you, Mike Lee 420, now following NBNN. We're going to wrap it up today. Stay tuned to NBNN for more news, sports, entertainment, crazy wild happenings, visits by Lord British himself, and anything else we can bring you. Stay tuned to NBNN. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll also bring you the simulcast of tomorrow's post-mortem. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching, everybody. I love you guys. You're all crazy.
I love your cupcakes.
Internet is always meant to be questioned. There's no such thing as normalcy.
I love the cupcakes.
I love cupcakes.